So I finally have some of the wiring components. I'm going to try and get started on electrical here. If you were wondering what about $300 of wires and plugs looks like, this is it. We got a few different wires here. 14.3, this is going to be for most of the outlets. They'll be running 120 volt 15 amp outlets, so that'll be these guys here. This 12 gauge 12.3 is for the shore power. Got one of the plugs for that. So that'll go on the outside of the bus through some kind of battery charger and then into the batteries. Got some of the lights here. Got 6 12 volt warm white LEDs that I'm going to throw on a dimmer switch. They're a bit smaller than I thought they were going to be, so we'll have to see how bright those are before we put any insulation up. Don't really know how to test that without having the batteries themselves yet, but and then these wires were for the DC circuits. I have it all written down, I just need to look at it again before I start this. We got a couple electrical boxes for the outlets, and this one will be for an outdoor outlet that I'll probably have on the side of the bus somewhere. I also decided now would probably be the best time to build the second wall in the bathroom. Is where Shadow likes hanging out these days. Because I was trying to figure out where to put this switch for the bathroom light, and I figured might as well just build a wall now and we'll just run the cords through it. Okay, so I've done a bunch of the wiring. Unfortunately, I forgot to record any of it, but I'm trying to focus on just getting all of the stuff that's going to be in the walls before I put any insulation in, because I'm going to be using spray foam, so I should lock all of this stuff into place. This looks like a mess right now, because it is, but I'll go through kind of what I've done so far. So these are the cables from the solar panel. I don't have the solar panels yet, but got them wired up to the part on the outside where they're going to be plugged into the panels themselves. Next up we got, let's see, these are going to be 12 volt cables for the exhaust fans. So I got those coming this way, coming out here. I ordered the fans, they should be in a couple days. I'm gonna have one here for the kitchen, one here in the bathroom, and then another one for the exhaust for the toilet itself. I wired an exterior outlet right here. So that's gonna be 120 volt. It's a GFCI outlet. I've got 4 of these outlets wired in, 120 volt outlets. And the first one here is a GFCI, and so what that does, it's actually going to shut off. If this trips, they all shut off. They're all GFCI protected then, so that's kind of nice. What else we got here? So I got the lights wired in. You probably can see that already. But I got 6 2-inch puck lights that are all on 5 of them are on a dimmer. And then one of them is going to be for the bathroom here. That is on a separate switch. And you can see this stuff's kind of wired in a little sketchy right now. I just wanted to see if it worked, so I kind of just used some parts, threw it together. That's definitely not staying like that. And I also unplug the bus when I leave. I also have, let's see, this cord all over here is for the shore power, and so that's actually what's plugged in right now. that's wired. Right now it's just wired into this outlet, and the other end of the outlet's wired into the other outlets. But all of this is going to be going into a 120 volt breaker box, and then the lights and the other 12 volt stuff will be into a DC breaker box. I'm kind of thinking I'm not going to be able to have a permanent AC in by the time I want to start driving this thing. So for now, I just put a separate circuit, one above the window there for a window unit AC. And then I have that same circuit to here, which is where I'll be able to take the outlets out and wire in a permanent AC unit. So prepared for that. Definitely probably not going to have that before I go. Those are like $1,000. But you'll notice the windows are covered in cardboard or sheets. That's partially just to keep it warmer in here, but also I feel very exposed working out here at night when I have all the lights on. Just, you know, just feel a little better with some window covers on there. And then, finally I've got one more of these wires is going down here, and that's where I'm going to have a 12 volt fridge under the kitchen counter there. And all of these cords I have labeled. I've labeled on the ends here so that when I do put the insulation up, I'll still know which one goes where. I've also drawn on the studs themselves anywhere that there is a cable going through it, so that when I'm nailing on the walls, I'm not going to accidentally poke one of those cables. So here's that exterior outlet again. I got a nice cover on it, zip tie through little thing so it doesn't fly open when I'm driving. This used to be where my generator sits. Here's a warning. If the bolts are inside the generator, people can just snap it off. Get a chain. Moved the trailer plug so that it was just inside, and now I can actually plug it into a trailer. And then here's my shore power outlet. So these cables I just got in today. It's 4 gauge, 30 foot, black and red. I was originally going to put that in the wall, running up to the battery and alternator in the engine, so that I could have alternator charging for my batteries. I think I might just kind of drill a hole somewhere over there and route it under the bus, so I might hold off on that. I've not decided yet. And I also got some butyl tape here for the fans and anything else that's going to be installed on the roof to have a nice waterproof seal there. So this looks super messy and chaotic, and it is, not gonna lie. But wanted to save as much money as I could on wires and just have the shortest distances possible between where they're connecting. If I ever have to screw anything into the walls or drill holes in the walls, but I'm going to take a very detailed video covering every inch of where every wire is before I put any insulation up, so I can look back on that. And for securing wires, Gorilla Tape works. Gorilla Tape, zip ties, just anything to hold it in until I can get the spray foam in. Something else that's important is anywhere your wires are going over anything that's kind of jagged, like the sharp metal here. This piece of scrap wood I used here is kind of messed up. I put this plastic sheathing over it, which I actually took from the harness that was in the bus, just to give it some extra protection there. So anywhere that it's crossing anything sharp while the bus is moving around, it's not gonna get shredded by any metal. So I got the fans coming in on Monday. I'll probably just make a separate video of just that installation, because I didn't really record anything else that I did for the wiring, so keep an eye out for that. But next step after all this is done, I'm going to be buying some spray foam insulation, hoping 1-2 packs will be enough. We'll see, but just kind of spraying all of any of the cavities up to the point of studs, and then trimming all that flush. Then I can hopefully get some walls and ceilings up, start actually doing some building. Thank you guys, appreciate the love. See you next time.